Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.
From St. Louis Public Radio. This is St. Louis on the Air.
I'm Jason Rosenbaum. One of the best ways we as human beings have to showcase our strength is through weightlifting. And a lot of really strong people will soon be competing in the St. Louis region for a shot at athletic glory. Logan University in Chesterfield is hosting the 2022 World Powerlifting Parapan American Open Championships. This is a crucial competition for athletes with disabilities who want to qualify for the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris. Joining us now are two Missouri powerlifters on Team USA. David Horvath is a Lindenwood College student. Welcome to the program, David.
Hi.
And Brett Forbes is a 16-year-old powerlifter from Bonne Terre. Brett, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
David, I want to start with you. Can you walk us through the basics of para powerlifting? How does it work, and what does a competitor have to do to win?
Mm-hmm. So, for para powerlifting, what separates it from able-bodied powerlifting is that it's just the bench press. Again, also what separates it is we, as para powerlifters, have a bench that allows us to have our entire body on the entire bench, just lying there, and we get strapped down if we choose to. You don't have to get strapped down, but it provides a little extra support if you need it. But you just bench press with all that just on your chest. That's it.
And folks might look at photos of you lifting a bar with your huge biceps bulging and think, well, this just looks like a regular bench press to me. I want you to dispel that assumption to our listeners right here.
Yeah, so basically that how I would say that is through what I kind of just alluded to, where all of our strength can only come from just the chest because of the fact that our legs are not being used as a counterbalance or, better yet, as a way to drive the weight up. It's all on our chest. It's all reliant on our chest to get the entirety of the weight up, and its paws on our chest, which makes it even more so reliant on pure strength.
Brett, can you kind of give our listeners a sense of what it feels like to take part in a competition like this?
It feels great to be able to take part in it. The amount of technique you need for it is incredibly tough, but that's what we train for this meet.
And you're in high school, and you've been involved in powerlifting for about 2 years now, and you've gotten some great help from your football coach. Can you tell us about that?
My high school football coach, built me a para bench to help me stabilize more instead of having to do it on a able-bodied bench. I get to do on a para bench.
David, and both you and Brett mentioned the specialized bench that is required for this competition. Like, how easy is it to create one of those, and do you have to find somebody that builds it specifically, or is it something that you can find pretty much anywhere, so to speak?
Mm-hmm. So that would definitely have to be something that would be custom made. From my understanding of it. But I have seen a lot of people can, makeshift one fairly easily, because what a parabench is, And what separates it from a normal standard bench that you would see in any gym is the sides are much wider throughout almost the entirety of the bench. Like the headboard is the same as a standard bench, but everything underneath that is like, I'd say at least 2 to 3 times the width. So I would think that would be fairly easily to accommodate if you needed to.
David, when you began racing in high school, you often did so without competition as the only athlete using a racing chair. Now that you're being pitted against other athletes, are you enjoying the sense of competition?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It makes a world of difference to have other people who are of a similar circumstance to me where I can truly gauge how I'm doing in the sport. I love it.
So let's talk about this competition that's coming up at Logan University, David. Will you be competing individually, as a team? Is it a combination of the two? Tell me how this competition works.
So I believe there is a team element to it, but most of it is essentially like you're in your own weight class and you compete against the athletes of your own weight class. And so you're really, at the end of the day, I would say, for the most part, competing as yourself, but you are on a team, and you do have that element to it.
And basically, is it that you keep lifting until you can't lift anymore, and the person that lifts the most weight wins? Is that basically what happens?
So you get 3 attempts for the entire meet. Your lifting consists of 3 attempts at whatever weight you choose, and you'll ascend. It takes kind of like thought prior to the event to think about how you want to play it, because sometimes you can just go, to near your max, and other times you might do first attempt. You would scale it back a little bit and then like aim towards the end lift being near max, or it just takes whatever you decide on. But you have those 3 attempts, and then yes, the best lift of your weight category wins overall.
Now, I'm going to ask this to both of you. Like, when you both are training, like, how much weight are you regularly lifting to prepare for this competition? I'll start with you, Brett.
I will be honest with you. I cannot say that because my weightlifting coach does not want me to give my hand at this competition. I will tell you it's definitely above 280.
Okay. I apologize if I was trying to reveal any secrets there, so I apologize to both of you for that. It's my understanding that para-powerlifters from North, Central, and South America will be at this competition. How popular is para-powerlifting in this hemisphere and around the world? I'll start with David.
I'd certainly say it's growing. I would say for sure, because like I learned about it, probably 3 years ago or so, and then got into the sport because of that. But I would say that it's certainly picking up a lot of speed in this area.
And this is like one of 22 sports that take place at the Paralympic Games in Paris. Brett, what would it mean to you if you were able to prevail next month and go to that competition?
It would mean a lot because it would show how much effort I've been putting into training and stuff like that.
David, I'm going to ask the same question to you. Like, what would it mean to you if you go to this competition at Logan University and you're able to succeed enough to go to the Paralympic Games in Paris?
Honestly, it's even to this point, it's gotten to me where it's like almost a weird feeling that it's taking a while to sink in. So I don't know if it would sink in for quite a while, but it would be spectacular. It's what I like Brett said, it's what I'm training for, so it's like all that would pay off and it would be awesome, you know?
David, we only have a minute or two left. Is there anything that we haven't touched on yet about this sport that you want to convey to our listeners here on St. Louis on the Air?
No, I mean, we've touched on a lot. Not that I can think of.
Do you think that this sport could actually get even more popular than it is now, based on what you've been seeing?
I personally would hope that it does, because I really have enjoyed it. I can't explain it. It's easy for me to love it, and so I would love to see other people love it too.
Brett, same question to you. Are you hoping that this sport continues to gain in popularity?
I definitely hope it gets more popular, and hope more people get a chance to hear about it and even compete in it. Some of the people who haven't heard of it will now hear of it, and it's just more competition.
I want to thank David Horvath and Brett Forbes for joining us today to discuss their participation in the 2022 World Para Powerlifting Parapan American Open Championships. Brett, David, great to talk to both of you.
St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio.
Do you find yourself regularly listening to episodes of St. Louis on the Air? Suggest us to a friend you think might enjoy our conversations. And leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts on the App Store. It's the simplest way to help people discover our show. Thanks.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.